Yo, listen up, it's time for a tale about a podcast that'll leave you frail. Hard way wrestling coming at you raw, bringing the heat, breaking every law. They drop the truth, no holds barred, talking smack, getting you hyped up hard, calling out the fakes, exposing the lies. Hard way wrestling taken by surprise. Hard way wrestling coming to your city. Nothing but realness, nothing but grit. Going down a gauntlet, making them mark. Hard way wrestling, straight from the heart.
Hardy Girls jeans and assemble them together.
Welcome to Hardway Wrestling, where we have eclipsed a number that we have been chasing for about, I don't know, a year now. Yeah, we started out, we were so excited. We hit 50 subscribers. I was so pumped up. Woo, 50. Then we got 100. And now, ladies and gentlemen of Hardway Wrestling, we're at 1,000 subscribers. Thank you guys so much. We're over 1,000 now. But we hit 1,000 yesterday. Super excited, boys. Congratulations.
Well, thank you.
You couldn't have done it without me.
Well, it's because you've bought the last 2 subscribers with bot accounts.
Yes,
So, yeah.
yes. All my accounts are bots. All my accounts are bots. I like that. That's kind of the place where everybody goes when you hit 1,000 or you're picking up subscribers. And it must be buying them. Doesn't help for engagement. None of that shit helps for engagement. So
We're too broke to be buying.
why would anybody buy subscribers? It just I don't know, drives me absolutely crazy. But anyway, congratulations, boys! 1,000 subscribers. We've been around for what, a little over a year now.
Year and a half.
Yeah, year and a half, and 1,000 subscribers. Next goal is 1,500 subscribers, and we're on our way. We're only 490 away. So
Hey, we
yeah.
may not have beaten Independent Rewind to the 1,000, but we got there faster than they did.
absolutely,
About 5 years faster.
easily, right? I mean, so I think their story was they were around for a while, and then they sold it or they gave it to someone else to do Independent Rewind. Then they took it back because those people were terrible people, yeah. So I don't know how long actually they have been around, but I know it's been a while. Not as long as we have, or a lot longer than we have, and we have eclipsed that number. So we're at 1,000, a little over 1,000 for YouTube. We're close to 1,000 on Instagram. We are climbing every day, man. Our Facebook page has damn near 15,000 people on it. So very awesome job, boys.
Hell
More to
yeah.
come. Always thinking, always trying to grind and add new things to what we do. I'm in talks right now with a guy who is a toy guy, who will be giving us content, hopefully on a monthly, maybe more, depending on how his schedule is. So,
Sweet.
so more to come on that. Don't want to give up too much information yet because it isn't concrete. But congratulations on the 1,000, boys. Do you ever think we'd get here?
Thank you to all of our hard-ons.
That's right. That's right.
Couldn't do it without you.
Yeah, listen. I wish I had 1,000 hard-ons.
You probably need to go see your doctor if you had 1,000 hard-ons.
I'll tell you one thing. I ain't wearing pants.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to tell my doctor. I'm going to go tell everyone else though.
Exactly.
So, anyway, we're just coming off a weekend of wrestling. Bad Blood this weekend. Pretty good PLE. Did you both get to watch?
Yeah, I got the.
Not a fan.
I don't think it was. I don't think it was all that great. Aside from the Punk McIntyre match, I wasn't really impressed with the rest of it.
Yeah.
It was a filler pay-per-view. I wasn't expecting it to blow the roof off the place, but I don't know. I didn't think it was all that great, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, again, I watched it yesterday. Didn't get a chance to watch it live, but I watched it yesterday, and it wasn't ridiculous. It wasn't ridiculous. I mean, we've seen way worse pay-per-views. This was definitely a filler. That's a good way of putting it. This was definitely a filler pay-per-view. So we only had
Crown Jewel next.
Yep, that'll be the next one. 5 matches on the card. Yeah, the Crown Jewel is next for WWE. AEW is I forget.
That's Wrestle Dream, and that's next weekend, I believe. Isn't it the 12th?
Is that
This weekend?
is that an actual pay-per-view?
Yeah.
I believe so. Yeah, it's Wrestle Dream.
I thought it was a Dynamite or something.
No.
You can
Oh,
never
it's
tell with
Saturday.
Tony Khan what a pay-per-view is and what's not.
True.
It's Tony Khan's wet Wrestle Dream.
Very true. So anyway, let's get into let me pull up the results here. All right. So Bad Blood started out a little different than I thought it was going to. I thought for sure that the main event was going to be the cage match, but it wasn't. It kicked off Bad Blood. So
Yeah.
Hell in a Cell with Drew McIntyre, CM Punk. Actually, let's rewind here a bit. Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair, and Naomi. They all kicked off the show. They were our special guest announcers or special guest whatever's
Hosts
the host for Hell in a Cell.
up in the party box.
So I don't know why they never. I don't know. Pay-per-views, you'd think they would show all the belts, but I guess they don't need to, right? They don't have
Triple H says he puts his PLEs together by using the most intriguing stories, and he doesn't want to just put title matches in there just to do it. He wants them to actually mean something.
Okay.
Which is
All right,
awesome.
That's fine. That's fine.
I
It
mean,
is
and
what
when
it
your
is.
tag team division sucks, yeah, hopefully once the Lucha Bros or AB's who is it? Motor City Machine Guns gets there, that'll help things out. Then they can start writing some better tag team division stories.
All right, well, this thing kicks off with the CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre. We've been waiting for this for a long time. This has been basically, I don't know, 11 months,
year.
9 months, 10 months. I mean, it's been a long time
Most-
coming between
yeah.
Punk's injury and whatnot. So I think Drew hurt himself in there at one point too. So these guys absolutely beat the piss out of each other. There was toolboxes and wrenches and just all kinds of different inanimate objects. What's that?
Bag full of bracelet beads.
Yeah. So this match basically ended with Drew McIntyre dumping out friendship beads all over the place. Drew McIntyre or a CM Punk ends up countering, picks up a handful of beads, puts them in his mouth, wraps a chain at some point, wraps a chain around his leg and gives him to go to sleep with this chain, which I think was an awesome finish.
Yes.
That was
an
an awesome
match of the
finish.
night, hands down. And right before that was Drew going for the Claymore, and he ends up getting his lower back on the fucking steps.
That is we're gonna call that the Derby. So that is such a gnarly bump. I can't even it made me jump. Like I can't even imagine catching. He's gonna be worse for wear tonight for Raw for sure.
Did you see the gash on his freaking head?
Yeah. I think that was from the toolbox.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was from the toolbox. So,
Yeah,
Now,
he got whacked, and that thing just started draining.
yeah.
What was that? Was that an actual hard way? Did that toolbox legit bust him open?
Pretty sure.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
They showed after afterwards, there were some clips of Drew getting sewn up in the back, and he had like a nice, right up the middle of his forehead.
Like it looked like about 16, 17 staples through the top of his head, which was crazy. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, gnarly. I mean, the whole match was gnarly. There was something, and
Hey,
Punk.
you know what else impressed me about it? They didn't once leave the damn cell.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty refreshing. I think too that no climb. There wasn't anybody climbing on anything. There wasn't anybody trying to get out of the cage. They stood there and they fought. They fought, and I like the fact that, and of course, I love the old Big Blue where it's just on the ring, right? But I like the fact that this thing there's about 3 foot, 2 foot in between the ring and the cage itself, which allows them to work around the outside of the ring and get under the ring and get whatever weapons that they want to use. And
that spot where Drew superplexes, like he lifts Punk over the turnbuckle and superplexes him through the table on the outside was a sick moment too.
Crazy.
That was ridiculous because again, I thought they were going to do the typical go to the top, you know, and then suplex off the top through the table. I was like, oh great, you know, seen this a million times. The fact that he lifted him over the buckle and then suplexed him through the table was like, oh, you don't see that every day.
And that was all Drew there because like at one point, like it was slow, like he was losing the grip on Punk, and then he just yeets him right back over his head.
And the other part that was really refreshing to me was one, there was only one table spot because this time with the first table they used, instead of actually going through the table or doing anything with it, they just
broke it.
Just ripped the leg right off the thing and was like choking him. And on top of that, they turned the other leg up, and Punk was trying to like put Drew's eye out by shoving his face in the leg. Like,
there were a lot of close calls, a lot of close spots in this. Yeah, a lot of close spots in this. So,
and Drew looking strong when he ripped that leg off that table.
Yeah, I know, right? And the other thing that got me was the bead spot because I saw the bag and I was like, oh no.
Here we go.
Real glass.
Huh?
Real glass.
I was thinking thumbtacks.
Yeah, real glass or thumbtacks or something. And I was like, okay, like I was like, no, come on, we don't need thumbtacks. And then when he poured the beads, I was like, oh wow, that's again, like it's not going to win you the match, but at the same time, it's a callback to everything that's been going on. And I was like, okay, that's storytelling right there. That's how you know, through his own hubris and like, you know what, I'm going to bring these in. I'm going to, I'll shove these down Punk's throat. And then he misses that Claymore that ends up almost breaking his own back on the steps.
That hurt me just watching it.
Yeah. Like the whole match really like told a good story and was like it held you start to finish. Like the toolbox spots, the fact that they only used one chair in the entire match. They didn't use any kendo sticks, anything else, and there was only one table spot, but they used the toolbox. The toolbox is it's a Terry Funk classic. Although the one thing I kind of was hoping they were going to do is the Terry Funk one where he goes to clock somebody with the toolbox, and the toolbox opens and drops all the tools on their own head. I was kind of hoping for that spot when I saw the toolbox, but I was like, yeah, they didn't do it. No big deal, but just kind of an old Terry Funk.
Where does this rank Hell in a Cell matches? Because honestly, the last couple Hell in a Cell matches have been not great.
This has been one of the better ones in quite some time.
Yeah, this has been a good one.
Honestly, if I had to say, Shawn and Taker number 1, Taker Mick number 2, Shawn and Taker. Shawn and Taker the original was number 1. Taker Mick number 2. Shawn and Taker the rematch. Was a WrestleMania match they did.
No, that was Triple H and Taker with Michaels as the referee. That was the end of the era moment.
Okay, so so that one would be no. Okay, no, actually, you know what? I'd probably put Punk number 3 and then that one number 4. So because there really hasn't been, other than like the 2 originals were like the pinnacles of what Hell in the Cell was supposed to be, and then it kind of degenerated after that.
That's because they made a whole pay-per-view basically of Hell in the Cell, where like every other match was a Hell in the Cell match, and they just like rammed it down your throat to the point you were just tired of seeing them. Like it's supposed to be like a specialty match, like have it once a year, not once every other match for an entire pay-per-view.
Right.
Punk said it best, and I don't know if you guys have seen this new interview with him yet or not. He pulled out, and you're gonna laugh, he pulled out a cornet line. He was talking about, they asked him about the Hell in the Cell, and he's like, this is a match that needs a stadium, not a stadium that needs a match. And that's what they wanted to put on, is the match that needed this stadium full of people to see it, to understand it, to watch it, not, a place that needed, he didn't need that, match to be there to draw they wanted the people, and the people made it too. Like the crowd reactions to a lot of that match were amazing. So yeah, I loved it. I think it's one of the best on themselves. Again, one of the best on themselves in the last 20 years.
Christ, Scotty, you reached full release. I think your eye just rolled back in your head.
A little bit, yeah, a little bit.
Straightened up a little bit. Well, the only problem with this is it was a great match. I ain't gonna lie, it was a great match, but it really, to me, it almost took the piss out of the rest of the show because
when you follow it up,
at least for the next couple matches, honestly. So, our next match we had the women's title and Nia Jax versus Bayley. This was honestly. This was okay. This is the same. This is honest to me. It's the same match that they've been doing. It was a good match. Bayley's always a good worker.
Their last match at their match at SummerSlam was better than this one.
Yeah. Well, I did like that. The only spot that really got me was where Tiffany came in. There was a rough bump. Tiffany came in and was trying to.
Poor Jessica Carr.
Yeah, poor Jessica Carr. Hands Jessica Carr the briefcase or the brief. I forget how she gets a briefcase.
She picked it up off the mat because remember Bayley took it from Tiffy and whacked her with it. Oh, okay. So once they were all laid out, Tiffany's just standing there. Jessica Carr finally gets up. She picks the briefcase up, and Tiffany starts getting that confused look like, should she do it? Should she do it?
And then Nia sat up,
and
like
then the Nia Taker sits up.
Nia Taker. You know what? I did like Nia's gear. It was very
strawberry.
Her cane gear. I like that.
Yeah,
that was a good little spot there. So Nia ends up retaining here.
The spot where Bayley's trying to power bomb her, and then I don't know what the hell Nia tried to make it look like she did a Hurricane Rana or whatever.
Yeah. That
was retarded. Could not.
There were two spots. There were a couple of spots that had the announcers, and when I call her the refrigerator, I'm not just echoing Cornette. This woman, she can't move in the ring. She is an absolute she's a botch mechanic. She just continued to botch move after move after move. There were the two moves. That was one of them, and then the other one was some kind of a weird Samoan drop thing.
Yeah. She about missed the Samoan drop.
They had the announcers like, what was that? We don't even know what the heck. We don't even know how to call that because we don't know what the heck they were trying to do.
Well, that could be just communication.
It was. Well, she didn't get all of it.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but no.
This Nia Jax, in my opinion, has been very much improved on this run since she came back.
Yeah,
match here, she was terrible.
I don't think either one was that great. I don't think Bayley was that great either.
Bayley's better. Again, she wasn't her finest match at all, but Bayley's definitely better than the Fridge. So I'm sorry. And again, I watched this match. I did promise I would watch this match, and I'm sorry, but I don't see what y'all are seeing on freaking Nia. Nah.
No, I thought she was terrible in this one.
All right, so Nia retains here. A match that I did not watch. I was trying to fast forward through some of their bullshit commercials and stuff, and I must have skipped this match. Finn Balor versus Damian Priest. From what I'm hearing, that it was just a typical match. There wasn't anything special about it.
It could have been on Monday Night Raw.
This match,
it was there was some back and forth, and then of course you knew the Judgment Day was going to end up in there, right. And a lot of false finishes in this. I kept screaming #protect the finish numerous times in this one. And I thought for sure when Balor hit those two coup de grace on the back of Damian's head that he was going to win, but no, he kicked out.
Yeah. This feud has not been great.
No.
Right. I mean, I would have the Liv and the Rhea thing has been really good. I mean, you could tell that these guys hate each other. But this Finn and I'm hoping it's over. I hope it's over. I'm hoping we move on from this because this isn't This just isn't doing it for me anymore. So that's probably why subconsciously I passed it by.
I would rather see the Grayson Waller effect where he gets his ass whipped by the mayor of whatever town they were in.
All right, then we get Triple H in the ring, who is showing off the new Crown Jewel title, which this is I've seen a lot of stuff online about how bad this title looks. I didn't think it was that bad. It's a really long title, so I mean it's gonna cover up a lot of torso, but I didn't think it was very gaudy. The green that's in it, you can barely see the green because of all the glimmer.
The big gold plate in the middle of it.
Yeah. So basically, whatever the men's champion and from either one, SmackDown.
They're pulling the old Survivor Series angle from years ago, where it was champion versus champion from each show going against each other.
Right.
So, like, I kind of like that idea of it, but it's
only going to be defended there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's it.
It's like the greatest Royal Rumble. Like, they gave Braun Strowman that belt, and like I don't know that they ever. Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't seen it since. That was it.
They haven't done another one since then, which is
What was the other one they did there too? Like the greatest of all time tournament, that one Shane McMahon won or whatever.
Oh, the one where he entered late. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did too.
Who did he beat? Who did he beat?
It wasn't the Miz, was it?
No, I wouldn't think so.
I don't remember. I vaguely remember that, but I just don't remember who was in it or who won. I mean, other than knowing Shane, I don't remember what the whole deal was with that. That's interesting.
Shane McMahon won it was the World Cup.
That's what it was.
They beat Dolph Ziggler.
Oh God, of course they did.
Good Lord. No wonder Dolph wanted out of there.
Yeah. It's terrible.
Yeah, so we get to see this title. Then in the middle of that, Gunther makes his way to the ring.
This was a good part.
I thought this was good. This got a lot of flack online. I thought this was a good part. Gunther gets in the ring, and he's acknowledging all the people that showed up, all the old school wrestlers. By the way, they kept bringing the old school wrestlers down and sitting them in the exact same chairs the other ones were sitting in, which this poor guy behind him had to been dying. He was like, "Oh, come on, man. You're ruining my view." Booker T had to get up, and then it was DDP like 2 segments later. But we got a Gunther Goldberg interaction. Gunther leans over and says, "Hey, what is your kid's name?" He looks at Triple H. He says, "Oh, Gage. Gage, I hope your dad's a better father than he was a wrestler."
Jeez.
He also told him that Goldberg wasn't his favorite wrestler. So, yeah, I see he's typing there.
I hope if they do this, if they somehow do this match, I hope Gunther absolutely destroys him. Squash match.
Yeah. I hope that they don't do it at all. I hope they don't do it at all. I don't want to see Goldberg in a ring ever again.
Yeah, I know.
True.
He ruined the Fiend, right? He tried to
kill
kill the Undertaker. Yeah, forget it. No, we definitely do not need.
Didn't Goldberg and Roman wrestle in Crown Jewel once as well?
Was it Roman or was it Brock?
It was Brock, definitely, because they had that cage match where he speared Brock through the cage. I think it was. And they ruled Brock the winner because he touched the floor first or something.
Yeah, I can't remember. But anyway, back to it. I do not want to, please, Lord, baby Jesus. And the Saudis love Goldberg.
Yeah.
So it's very possible this was like a little setup for something later on down the line or for Crown Jewel. I hope not. I hope not.
Blood Money pay-per-view.
Yeah, right. Didn't look like Triple H was much into this. I'm sure he thought this belt was the biggest piece of shit he's ever seen. But I think it's their swipe at AEW because it kind of looks like the AEW title.
Yeah, it kind of.
I said it was a big fucking rectangular title that reminded me of the AEW World title.
All right, we have the women's championship match: Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley, with Dominic Mysterio suspended in a shark cage above
So
the
what
aisle.
well, because of the Hell in the Cell, I guess they couldn't have it in the middle of
Guess
the
that makes sense.
cell lowering.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
But the one thing I did not realize until the spot was that his leg was cuffed to the cage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so when did that happen? Who would have done that? Because they just put him in the cage, right?
Yeah.
Well, they didn't make a big deal of it, but they had the two handlers in there, like that were trying to get him to go into the cage. And I think it happened then, although, like I said, nobody really talked about it. And the thing that I don't understand is if they were going to do that spot, because what they were going for is that he got his foot caught in something, and
That's what I thought.
Yeah, but then, like you said, Ricky, that I saw.
Did it scare you when he flipped out of the cage?
Yeah, I thought like his pant leg or something got caught.
Me too. I was like, oh
yeah,
no,
I
we're
was
gonna
like,
lose.
oh,
We're
no.
gonna lose Dominic.
We were putting our money on somebody in AEW dying first.
Yeah, Jesus. So anyway, we're gonna fast forward because this is just a standard match between those two. I mean, Rhea absolutely beat the shit out of Liv most of the match, I thought. But the spot at the end where, and I don't know if
botched.
this was
It
pretty
was
sure
botched.
it was a botch.
The Raquel came out too early, apparently, so the referee was facing.
She Tonga lowered it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay.
Well, no, Tonga Loa was late. Raquel was early.
Late. Yeah, she's early. Okay.
So apparently, like the referee was facing the direction of where Dominic was and where Raquel was coming at Rhea. So the spot that I read was the ref was supposed to be distracted by Liv, and she was going to beat Rhea up and then basically roll her into the ring onto.
Right.
And then put Liv on top of her for the win. So Liv was supposed to win that match, but Rhea ends up winning by DQ.
Yeah. Which honestly, the ref did the right thing there.
He did.
He was facing. He didn't Rick Knox it. He didn't pretend he didn't see it.
Exactly.
He didn't like look up in the air, like, oh, I never saw it.
Cost me 4 fantasy points. Damn it!
It did. It did. You're getting buried now. But anyway, we'll get to that here.
Only down by 4.
Yeah. Well, you're still buried. You're never catching Scotty.
2 ahead of me.
And I'm 1 behind you, Jason.
You're not catching me either, buddy.
All I got to do is go to McDonald's and get an 8-piece, and he'll trade me that briefcase.
Oh, that's not a bad idea. That's not a bad idea. Anyway, the return of Raquel Rodriguez. She does this. She comes in, interferes, gets the match thrown out, disqualification, and I guess Raquel is back. Was she with Liv before they were
women's tag team champions? Yeah. Remember the curse of the tag titles? That's where a lot of the injuries were starting.
So she's back with Liv.
Love it.
So I was happy to see Raquel back. I was definitely more happy to see her front. Whatever that thing was she was wearing wasn't covering much.
She's all nipple anyway. I'm pretty sure. Like she's not big up top because she's a bodybuilder, so she's more So, yeah. At some point, that wasn't going to work out. If she'd have had to wrestle in that, I don't think that would have worked out for her. But yeah, she's back. And which is good because they're going to need a buffer in between WrestleMania or whatever is coming up, and because Liv is going to lose that title back to Rhea most likely. You know, it'd be a cool swerve if all of a sudden Tiffy cashed in on Liv.
I said that at one point, just thinking that whenever they have their next match at the Crown Jewel, because it'll be Liv versus Nia, because they're both the women's champions.
Yeah.
So that was where I was kind of thinking that Tiffy might cash in on Liv.
Yeah, that'd be a nice little swerve, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we need a good little buffer there in between whatever's getting ready to happen with Liv. And remember I said maybe we'll get a new person in the Judgment Day. So said that in the last stream. So maybe and I just
Yeah.
pulled that out of my ass. I don't even know how it got there. So anyway, Rhea Ripley wins disqualification. And I think I even said that too. They don't really do disqualifications for pay-per-views.
Yeah.
And the fuck they did it.
Lazy booking.
Lazy booking.
Actually, that was
Bad refereeing.
just a
Here's
botch.
another spot. At one point, Rhea looked at the referee and said, "Hey, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go take care of business out here." And the referee goes, "Okay." And
Yeah.
lets her go out of the ring and continue to beat Dominic Pinata.
Yeah.
Just beat the absolute piss out. Now, I think he was wearing something underneath of his jacket because of the sound it was making.
Yeah.
But man, she beat the shit out of him. And
Yeah.
you know, which again, Rick Knox Jr. in the ring, one of the fattest referees they have, by the way. He's got a gut on him. Like Triple H has got to be tearing him apart every time he puts on those stripes. Even Jessica Carr is in better shape than he is. No 10 count.
Yeah.
He just let him go out there and swing that kendo stick like she was Darren Judge. I don't get it. I don't get it. So there was a lot of goofy stuff. I don't like the ref cam. I think the ref cam's weird. Like they don't use it enough. Except they used it as a body cam to record her saying that she was going to go out and assault him.
Yeah, and the last time they did that was with Punk and McIntyre when Rollins was the referee. He was wearing that body cam or whatever, which that was a good spot.
Yeah. All right. Final match of the pay-per-view. The undisputed champion Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns versus Solo and Jacob Fatu, the Bloodline. What did you guys think of this match?
I really could have given two shits about it, to be honest.
It felt to me like it was the exact same. Scotty, I'll give you mine and Scotty, then you go because you were getting ready to say something. I cut you off.
No, I mean it just like Ricky said, same old match. It just kind of. I mean, again, the crowd was going nuts, especially at the beginning. The crowd was, the OTC chant was going out.
Great entrances.
Great entrances.
I think
giveaway who's going to win, by the way.
I think Roman had a bigger pop than Cody.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think Cody's wearing thin on people right now.
Yeah.
So, which we'll get to here in a bit, but this match felt like the last match Cody was in versus Solo, where it was just like we're waiting for the end. We're waiting to see who's coming out. We're waiting to see who returns. We're waiting to see, the next part of the story or what the story is. Because now it seems to me it's like we don't even care about the wrestling anymore. We just care about the story, right? We care about, which is how it should be. That's wrestling. You want to care about the wrestling. Don't get me wrong. You want good wrestling, but you want a great story to go with that good wrestling.
And that's where AEW sucks.
Great stories will cover up not great wrestling at times. And that match was okay. It was okay. It wasn't the greatest. It was a good return for Roman. I don't know why anybody thought that Roman was going to lose his first match back.
Hey, at least Jimmy didn't botch his spot. He was there nice and early.
Yeah, he's the good oos. He's the good oos. So we get a return by Jimmy. He shows up in his cowboy outfit with his scarf over his face. I guess his COVID scarf, maybe. So,
hope he washed it.
Super kicks the shit out of
Tonga and Tongaloa.
Smashed them both. Gets in the ring. Super kicks Solo. Then they both Roman and Jimmy both super kick. Are they both super kicking, right? Both super kick Solo?
Yeah. No. Did they?
I thought they did.
Roman
up there for a second.
Or Roman gave the Superman punch or whatever.
Gotcha.
One of the two. I couldn't remember.
So Jimmy returns.
Shots and many beers at that point.
Jimmy returns, and Solo took the pin here.
Surprise.
Solo took the pin here from Roman. So
remember, I said it was either Jacob was going to win it or Solo was going to lose it.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah. They're definitely. I don't know if are they trying to convince us that Solo is the tribal chief, or is he just like this shithead that stole the Ulafala? Like, I don't know what I don't know what the real angle is. I do love that Jacob Fatu is continuously, every time he pulls off a movie, he looks at Solo and says, "I love you, I love you, tribal chief.
Yeah.
I love you." So, um, anyway, it was good. I mean, it wasn't bad. But we were waiting for the final. So Jimmy comes back. We get a little thing in the ring with Jimmy and Roman. Nice little hug spot. Crowd pop for that. Jimmy's back. Don't know what they're going to do with Jimmy because Jimmy's inferior compared to Jay. I guess we'll see where that goes. I guess unless they're bringing Jimmy in to take some L's.
Bloodline assemble.
Yeah, unless they're bringing Jimmy in to take the L's for whoever, and then they leave the ring, and then the Bloodline jumps Cody, beats the shit out of Cody. Jimmy talks Roman, said that you said you had his back. He said no, I had his back for this match. So Jimmy talks Roman. Jimmy talks Roman into going back in. They go in, they clear the house, and then
the final boss.
The final boss's music hits.
Ham laughed at me when I told him that Rock was going to show up at this. Yeah. I was like, "You watch."
He was coming. We knew somebody was coming. We just didn't know exactly who.
Did you catch the Rock's promo afterwards when he was walking to his truck?
I did not.
He must have said "final boss" about 100 times in like a 8-minute promo.
Buy the shirt. Buy the shirt. Buy the shirt. So anyway, the final boss shows up. He gives like a little he counts the 1, 2, 3, and then he gives the cutoff the slit your throat sign. I don't know who he was giving it to. Was he giving it to Roman?
There was another clip I saw of Solo and Jacob Fatu out in the crowd when the Rock's standing there. Solo telling Jacob that this is part of the plan.
Oh,
you guys trust me, this is part of the plan.
Okay, all right. Well, I guess we'll see moving forward. So after the show, we get your Rock promo, right? You get your Rock cutting your Rock promo, and then we got an interaction with Cody and KO out by Cody's bus, and KO turned heel and beat the shit out of Cody right there in front of everybody, which was honestly perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. Didn't have to be on TV. It just had to be in front of one camera.
Yep.
That's it. Now, I don't even know that they filmed it with their cameras. I think they just let the fans eat it. So
the one part of the Rock promo was when he's leaving the arena and he's walking out to his truck. He's going between the two WWE tractor trailers, with all the stars' faces on it, and he's like, "Stone Cold, my boy, I'll drink some beers and some whiskey with you." And then he keeps going, and then there's Dusty. He's like, "Love Dusty, hard times, hate your boy." he looks over. There's John Cena. And he's like, "Eat your fruity pebbles."
So anyway, that was Bad Blood. Okay, give it a rating here. How many out of 5 pizza cutters? How many give it?
I give it 2.5 pizza cutters.
2.5 pizza cutters,
and that's only because of the Hell in the. I'll give it 3 pizza cutters. That's only because of the Hell in the Cell.
Okay, all right, Scotty.
I was actually going to say the same thing. 3 pizza cutters.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with 2. I'm just gonna go with 2 because the Hell in a Cell match was the only thing that was worth a shit to me. The rest of it was you could do it anytime, right?
I mean, it was average.
Yeah, it was average. Again, we're waiting on the next shoe to drop. So, but it wasn't a ridiculous pay-per-view. But it was just a filler, like you said. It was just a filler pay-per-view.
We will be giving no melters out for this.
No melters, just pizza cutters, cutters. So anyway, we have a fantasy wrestling league. If you want to join the wrestling league, right?
Real quick, got to give my boy Ham a shout out since he hooked me up with these 2 autographed gifts.
Oh, looky there. And where did he go for that?
So he said he ordered order them for and they got the authentication certificate on the
look
back.
at that.
He said he ordered them online and they were on like a delay, so it took for quite some time to get them, but when they did, they gave him a second one for free.
Oh, cool.
So he basically got buy one get one on both of them.
So it was I couldn't see the one. It was Sky Blue and
Mandy Rose.
Mandy Rose. Okay. I couldn't. Oh, okay. Yeah. I see it now. Yeah, a little bit of a glare. You do love yourself some Sky Blue.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you got as many Sky Blue autographs as I have.
You got the autograph at WrestleCon, and I got to put my arm around her.
You got to touch her. Creep.
Benefit of flash photography.
Anyway, we do a fantasy league here at Hardway Wrestling. If you would like to join, it's real easy to join. Go to our Patreon. It's $5 a month. It runs for 2 months straight. We cover AEW and WWE pay-per-views. It's a point system, and it's fun. We talk a little shit, and there will be a champion crowned at the end of this. Maybe not a new champion, maybe an old champion. Who knows? But there will be a champion crowned at the end of this. Month. You can't beat it. It's $5. And not only, it's fun to join the fantasy league. It's fun to be in fantasy, but it also supports Hardway Wrestling. So we appreciate that too. Also, speaking of Patreon, we have a new Scotty tier. We have a new tier. If you just want to support the boys, because listen, Scott needs a haircut. Look at his hair. It's a mess, right? And God, just Ricky needs a beard trim. So you could join the Scotty tier. It's $1 a month. Yeah, there's your.
Gotta trim my pussy.
Remind me, I got a story for you here.
You gotta do a Mr. Puffer's plan.
Oh, the Mr. Puffer plan. Oh, we could do a Mr. Puffer plan. So anyway, right now it's a Scotty tier. It helps us support his wooden spoon addiction. Make sure you join today. Helps us out. Helps Scotty out. He's got splinters in his hands, so his spoons are old. So
chopping up lines of chicken tendies.
Coming out of Bad Blood, Rob and Jess scored the highest of everyone. They tied at 12 points. The updated points as of Sunday, I am still in the lead by 1 point over Scotty, 3 points, 4 points over Jess. Ricky is 4 points behind the leader himself. So, and Rob bringing up the rear, who takes a lot of shots that don't ever hit, right? Wayne Gretzky said 100% shots not taken don't go in. Well, Rob should probably drop that down to 50%. So take some less shots. So anyway, that's good. Do it here for Hardway Wrestling. Boys, we would try to be back later on this week. Again, busy schedule with weddings and whatnot, but we're starting to wind down. We're getting through it here. So we will definitely we'll definitely be back here at a consistent rate. But again, thank you to everybody. 1,000 subscribers. Amazing. Right. I never thought we were going to get to 1,000 subscribers. Actually, we had been 8 subscribers away from 1,000 for like a month. So for whatever reason, we hit it. So really awesome for us to be able to do that.
We got to get that extra man-sized large denim jacket for Scotty to dress up as Orange Cassidy and give Austin Blackthorne a stink face.
We're still chasing Independent Rewind. I don't know where they're at right now, but we're going to catch them eventually here. So anyway, that's good to do here for Hardway Wrestling. Boys, thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back probably sometime later on this week. Again, check out our Patreon. There's news on there. I subscribe to a lot of other news outlets that are paid that give you information ahead of time, and I pass that on to you. So get on that Patreon. First off, you can get on Patreon for free. It's free. You can join our Patreon for free. You don't got to pay nothing. Now, if you want to, you can. There's tiers for that. So definitely help Scotty out if you can.
All right.
Anyway, thank you guys so much, and we'll see you next time.
On the hard way.
You're fired.
Karen Ann.